Welcome to a plan on a page. Now, this is my favorite tool if you have a business idea, but you don't really know where to go from there. I always say write something down, because once it comes out of your brain and onto paper, it's almost like it becomes more real. And a plan on a page will walk you through a bunch of questions to get you thinking about your idea in ways that perhaps you didn't. So this is a worksheet that is available for you to download, or you can also use the online Google version, however you prefer to use it. Some people prefer handwriting. I always find you more creative with handwriting. However, so I'm going to walk you through it briefly now, and then go away, answer it probably over 30 minutes, leave it for a couple of days, and then go back and reread your answers and see if you still feel the same way. These are the kind of things that evolve as your thinking around your business idea evolves. So the first one is both the fun one, but the really hard ones, possible name ideas. And really it's only in here to get your creative juices flowing. I will have a lesson on how to come up with a business name. It's harder than you might think. But in the meantime, you might have some burning idea you can pop in there. Vision. Vision is not to be confused with purpose. Vision is what you want the world to be like if your business has the ultimate effects on our world that you could possibly imagine. So if I was to use Business But Better as an example, I would want the next 1,000 entrepreneurs to go and start missionary businesses that change the world and solve some of our most pressing social and environmental problems. I'd want to see a world free from problems caused by business. Less exploitative, fairer, kinder, whatever. That would need some finessing, but that's what my vision for Business But Better is. The mission is how you do it. How will you get there? And I will do that, of course. So Business Better will do that through providing training, mentoring, support, lessons for people to create values-led businesses that are successful. So profitable with a purpose. And the purpose for doing that is why I wanted to create it, is because I believe that business will solve these social and environmental problems that we face. Easy. So you need to go through those three, because they really start to cement your core business purpose. The whole reason why you are doing this, because trust me, it's going to get really hard. And some days you're going to think, why did I bother doing this? These three things are really key. The next one is, what problems do you solve? What problem do you solve for your consumer? Again, to use Business Better as an example, I'm helping entrepreneurs start and scale businesses that save the world. So I'm removing problems they face, like they have no idea what to do to get started. They have no idea how to set up a bank account. They don't know how to set up a website. They don't know how to approach a retailer. Those are the sorts of problems that Business Better is solving. What values do we stand for? This one is probably one of my favorite things to work through. It's what do you stand for, but also what do you not stand for. So things like fairness, equity, kindness, honesty, those are obvious ones that are written on the wall of every corporate everywhere. But think about things that really matter to you. It's things like, are you going to sell, if you sell a product, is it plastic-free shipment stuff? Is it plastic-free freight packaging? Is it all of your ingredients are fair trade? Have a really good deep think about this. And this is the core values that matter to your business and will continue to matter forever. Now we're getting a little bit less idealistic and more into the meat of it. So what do we sell? Business But Better sells memberships. What do you sell? Are you selling a product? Are you selling a service? It's literally, this one's a nice easy one. Hopefully you know what you are going to sell. And what do those products or services cost you to make or provide? This is something a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't necessarily want to face. I cannot tell you the number of business ideas I've had that will never make financial sense, which is a real shame, because some of those ideas are great. But unfortunately, a business with no money is not a business. You need to be financially sustainable to do any good in the world. So you probably won't know the real nitty-gritty details about this yet, but it's a really good idea to start thinking about this. Is it your time? Is it materials to make the product? What freight, if you're making a product offshore or somewhere else, what freight will be required to get it to you, to your warehouse? Have a think about everything involved with making the product. Next is your operating model. How will you make money? Again, to use Business But Better as an example, it's a recurring membership model. For Etique, it was selling products. For all of my other businesses, it was simply selling a product. There's a multitude of different operating models. So how are you going to do that? And what are you actually going to charge your customer? Now, if you watched any of my videos before, this is one of my favorite questions that all entrepreneurs need to be able to answer. How are you different? How would a customer walk along a crowded supermarket shelf and find your product and think, that's the one I want? How do you stand out? Now, this is one you should write some stuff down, come back to. And it is not how you're different from your perspective, it's how you're different from your consumer. And this is something that a lot of people need to do a lot of work on. Now, this is a plan on a page, so it's not to be overwhelming. So what is your one big goal for this year? Is it to launch? Is it to source products? Is it to simply start exploring the idea of a business? You need to have a goal, and then you need to break that goal down into little achievable steps, because the killer of businesses, before they even get off the ground, is people feeling overwhelmed and they don't have the experience or the knowledge or the passion or whatever to actually start their business. This will help you get there. Break each goal down. Now we move into customer. Who is our target customer? And I do not want to hear anybody say 25 to 40-year-old woman. That is a demographic. A 25-year-old woman is probably at a completely different life stage to a 40-year-old woman. You have to take into account everything that makes a person a person. And I really like creating personas, but to begin with, let's make it simple. Who is your target customer? Is it a 25-year-old woman who has a little bit of disposable income? She is particularly interested in health and she wants to spend a little bit more money or making herself feel better and look better. Is it a 45-year-old bloke who is bored? He wants to start exploring a new hobby. Try and go quite granular. And yes, you can absolutely have more than one target customer. Just remember, if you try to please everyone, you will please no one. There is no harm in niching down and getting into that small target customer. How will you reach them? All of that prior knowledge will show you where that customer will be. Will they be on social media? Will they be reading motorbike magazines? What will they be doing? And therefore, what marketing channels will you be able to talk to them on? And finally, who are your competitors? And if you've invented quite a new product, a lot of people say I don't have competitors because it didn't exist. But in most cases, your customers solved the problem that you are solving. They just solved it in a different way. So to use an example, Etique, when I founded Etique, there was very few shampoo bars on the market. But customers ultimately want clean hair. So they were solving that problem with liquid shampoo. See? So they're still solving the problem. So who are your competitors? You don't have to list hundreds of thousands, but just list the ones that you think are in your niche, which we'll talk about in another video, and who you think are the most interesting to watch. It's wise to keep an eye on your competitors and know who they are. It keeps you sharp. It inspires you to go further. So that's a plan on a page. It is not hard or overwhelming. It just gets you thinking about things. And hey, if there's one question that you absolutely cannot answer, don't worry about it. Skip it. Go back to it. But this is a living document. So make sure that you keep revisiting it, making sure the information is up to date. But this is a great first step. If you've got a business idea and don't know what to do next.